living a life of ease, remote work, travel, being a slow med, being a flexpat, and just having a peaceful, enjoyable life. If any of those things sound like a vibe, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much to Amber and those of you who sent me a Cash App for coffee. Today I had a delicious caramel blondie, iced, even in this frigid temperatures of 56 degrees. That is frigid for me. But thank you so much for the iced blondie, and thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. Today I'm going to be talking about living a life of ease through acceptance. Acceptance is trusting that what is happening is part of your divine prescription. It is a grace you give yourself. It's allowing yourself imperfections, uncertainty, and your own humanity. Acceptance is the moment you stop fighting reality and start listening. So I had to figure out myself and know that there are some things about myself that I can't change, and there are some things about others that I can't change, and it's okay. At the school and community center that I gave a big chunk of my life to, and they gave a big chunk of their life to me, acceptance meant forgiving myself for the years that I could not or would not see that my community was not a utopia. There were a lot of times that I turned a blind eye to things that I knew were wrong. When scandals happened and I didn't speak out because I wanted to keep my job, I did that knowingly, and I had to accept the fact that I didn't do the right thing at the time. There were times where the principal was saying that there should be no mention of issues and scandals on our social media, and I followed directions and didn't speak out. And I have to accept that I did not speak out when I should have, and it was wrong of me to do that. And it also means accepting that injustices were committed by people who babysat my children, who attended and gave me beautiful gifts at my bridal shower, who cared for me when I was sick. It meant recognizing that human beings carry both light and darkness. Acceptance also meant acknowledging that I could not change the entire system, but I could choose integrity. I accepted the painful truth that doing the right thing would cost me my job and possibly my community. And that was a really hard pill to swallow because, as I stated in a previous video, this community was my entire support system. I could count on 2 fingers or 3 fingers the amount of people that were close to me that did not somehow have involvement in that school, either as a parent, a community member, a volunteer, a teacher, something. So going against that school and community center meant possibly losing all of my social networks. Acceptance also deepened in my personal relationships. For years, I have been passive. Some people use the term passive aggressive. I was not even passive aggressive. I was just passive. So I allowed loved ones and intimate partners to do things to me and control me in ways that I should not have allowed. And I believe that if I just explained myself better, if they just truly understood how much they were hurting me, or if we went to counseling, which we did, that they would change. That love would be enough because we truly loved each other and wanted things to work, that it would be enough. I became consumed with saving relationships that were slowly destroying me. I neglected my spiritual health, my mental health, my physical health. I gained weight. I became very ill. I'm still, years later, healing from that heart sickness. And I looked at myself one day and realized that I didn't recognize the woman staring back at me. Acceptance arrived when I understood a hard truth. Some people do not change. No matter how much you love them, no matter how patient you are, and no matter how clearly you explain your pain, and no matter how clear your boundaries with that person is. Acceptance meant choosing myself and my relationship with my Creator over my attachment to the creation. It is not piety to abandon my need to travel and experience the world. It's not piety to have my alone time interrogated and questioned. It's not piety to be denied quiet walks, reflection, or joy. It's not piety to suffer in silence when a loved one doesn't care about your feelings or ask follow up questions or show any interest in you whatsoever. And they are solely interested in talking and focusing and demanding things for themselves. I have the right to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I have the right to know God as merciful, compassionate, and kind, not only as one to be feared. And then I had to accept that some people just want you to be a side character in their story. They want you to just be there saying, Hercules, Hercules. Acceptance is realizing that you are the main character on your own hero's journey and quest for truth. Letting go was terrifying, but choosing myself over fear, punishment, and ridicule was the most faithful decision I have ever made. And I have never been more at peace. So here are some journaling activities that you can do for acceptance. Feel free to share your answers in the description box. Divide a journal page into 2 columns. In one column, write what I hoped would change and list the people, relationships, systems, or situations you've waited on, you've prayed on, you've made istikhara for, or you've tried to fix. And in the right column, write what actually happened. Without blame or justification, describe the reality of what unfolded. For me, I found that everything happened really beautifully, unexpectedly, and worked out to my benefit in the end, even if I could not see that at the time. Then think about what emotions arise when you honor reality instead of potential, and what freedom becomes possible when you stop arguing with what is. Number 2, lovingly acknowledge the toll that resistance and self-abandonment may have taken on you. Answer the following prompts honestly, giving yourself a lot of grace. What did it cost me physically to stay in situations I knew were harming me? What did it cost me spiritually to confuse control, fear, or obedience with faith? What parts of myself did I silence in order to keep other people comfortable? And the third exercise you can do is to redefine acceptance with faith and not failure. Write a letter to yourself, beginning with the sentence, Dear self, choosing you was not selfish, it was sacred. In this letter, affirm why choosing your well-being honors the Creator, how letting go made space for peace, clarity, and health, and what you now accept about your worth, your needs, and your autonomy. Thank you all so much for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.